Hey church family, hope you guys are doing well wherever you're hunkered down. It is a little bit after 8 o'clock on Tuesday night, March 17th, and so I wanted to say happy St. Patrick's Day. Not sure if you were able to go to work today or if you worked from home, but wherever you're hunkering down, I hope that you're having a great day and that you're sensing the presence and the peace of God with you wherever you are. As your pastor, I just wanted to come to you with some more updates and some decisions that we've had to make as a church in light of some of the recent restrictions that have been announced from our governor, even within the last day or two. Yesterday, Governor Cuomo banned the gathering of 50 people or more. And shortly after that, President Trump came out and said that people should avoid gatherings of 10 people or more. And so because of that, as a church, our leadership team met yesterday, and we have decided to cancel all in-person gatherings that happen at the church until further notice. So that affects this coming Sunday. We will not have public services this coming Sunday, but just like this past Sunday, we will offer an online alternative that we would encourage our whole church family to tune in for and attend. One of the encouraging things that we saw last Sunday was that over 800 people watched the video, and so the gospel got out there. In fact, I think the gospel and churches took over social media on Sunday, as churches all across the country took to, online social media platforms to have their services and preach the gospel. And so I'm grateful that we have this technology to continue meeting together, even if it's virtually, to encourage one another and share the gospel. And so that will be available to you once again this coming Sunday. We'll do an online service for adults and for kids as well. We are also banning or canceling all in-person gatherings for small groups that use the church facility. That includes our Sparrow student ministry on Wednesday nights and any other small groups that use the church building. And so while the church is not being used, we're taking this opportunity to do a thorough, deep cleaning of all of the rooms in the church. Pastor Beth does a very good job of disinfecting everything every week in Kids Life, and so we're going through the rest of the building to make sure that everything is disinfected so that when people return, everything has been disinfected. As far as small groups that meet in homes, we want to encourage you with this. I'd like to see you continue meeting if you're able to, but we want you to use wisdom as well. So if you are a person that is in one of those categories that is most at risk, if you're over 60, if you're immunocompromised, if you have a pre-existing health condition, we want to encourage you to use wisdom and maybe consider refraining from attending in person until they deem it safe for you to re-engage. I know this social distancing thing is hard for so many of us that are very social people, and as Christians, that's part of being the church, is gathering together to encourage one another. But we want to cooperate with the requests of our officials who are saying that the best way to slow the spread of this is to really practice social distancing. And so to our small group leaders out there, we want to encourage you to keep your gatherings, if you're going to continue to meet in person, to less than 10 people. And get creative to include people who can't physically attend in your group meeting. So use FaceTime, use Google video chats, use some of these other vehicles that are available to us with technology to video phone them in so they can feel like they're still a part of the group. And so I want to encourage you guys to do just that. Now, we have had a couple of questions come in from people who want to know how they can give their tithes and their offerings since we're not meeting physically on Sundays. And so I want to give you the 4 ways that you can do that. The first and probably the easiest way for the majority of you to continue giving is through our website. The URL is lifechurchbuffalo.com/giving. All right, that's the easiest way. The second way would be to download and use the PushPay app. We talk about this just about every single Sunday. It's a simple, safe, and secure way to give electronically. And so you can do that on your Apple device or on your Android devices. And so that would be an easy way for you to do it as well. You can also simply text Life Church Buffalo to 77977. Life Church Buffalo is all one word, all lowercase. Text that word to 77977, and you'll get a text back prompting you how to go ahead and give electronically that way. The fourth way, for those of you who aren't comfortable using electronic means to submit your tithes and your offerings, would be to simply mail a check to the church. Our address is Life Church Buffalo at 4928 Seneca Street, West Seneca, New York, 14224. We understand as a church family that many of you have been impacted even in your employment as a result of the coronavirus craziness that's happening in our society today. And we want you to know that as your church family, we are praying for you, praying for your income and your employment to be restored as soon as possible, and praying that you would have the ability to trust that God is going to continue to meet every single one of your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. And just like your family relies on regular weekly income to do what you do as a family, our church family likewise relies on regular weekly income to operate as a church family. And you're feeling the pinch, and so are we. In fact, over 40% of our income comes in through in-person contributions that we receive from you when we pass the baskets during our Sunday morning worship experiences. And since we're not having Sunday morning worship experiences, obviously we are experiencing a very significant reduction in our regular income. And so I want to ask those of you who still have the blessing of having a regular income and paycheck come in to not give up giving. Now is not the time to pull back on your giving. We're counting on you as the church to continue funding the mission and the ministry of the church so that we can keep helping people know and follow Jesus step by step. As a church, we want to keep reaching into the community to, especially during this time, to offer hope and to meet the practical needs of people in our community. And so I would love for you to partner with us to continue giving faithfully and generously. And I want you to know that as a church, we're not worried. I know that we've seen a significant drop, but we're not worried at all. I'm not even a little bit afraid. God's got this. We have a healthy savings account that is in place for times just like this. And so I know we're going to get through this. This too will pass. This is only temporary. And I'm hoping it won't be long before we are gathering together in person to worship the Lord. And so I know that just like God's going to take care of your family, he's going to take care of our family. And I just want to take this opportunity as your pastor to thank you. Thank you so much for being so faithful and generous in your giving. Because of you, we are able to keep doing ministry like we are. And so I'm looking forward to gathering together with you in person. Last but not least, we wanted to let you know about some outreach opportunities that we've got coming up. The first thing is we want to know of the needs within our own body. And so if you're somebody who is not able to get to the store because you're in those, age brackets or risk factors, maybe you're over 60 or you're immunocompromised, you have a pre-existing health condition and you're self-quarantining and you're not able to get to the doctor, you're not able to get to the pharmacist, you're not able to get to the grocery store, we would love to know how we can help you. And so we've put together a form that's going to go out in a link in a church-wide email where you can let us know if you have a need. Now, I want to give a quick disclaimer and let you know that this is not a guarantee that we'll be able to meet every need, but we want to know what the needs are so that we can, as a church family, rally around you during this time and figure out what the best way is to get you the help that you need. So I wanted to let you aware to be on the lookout for that email where you can fill that form out, whether it's you or someone you know that might need some assistance from us as a church. Secondly, we have found out from someone on our dream team who works for Feed More Western New York, which is a merger of Meals on Wheels and the Food Bank of Western New York. And he's let us know that 47 different dining facilities in Erie County have closed as of today, which is impacting somewhere between 800 and 1,000 seniors, all of whom receive warm meals 5 days a week at those facilities. So Meals on Wheels is in a huge need right now for volunteers that are willing to deliver meals to those seniors who can no longer receive those meals at those dining facilities. And so we're going to be sending out in that email links where you can sign up to volunteer either with Meals on Wheels to deliver those meals or at the Food Bank of Western New York. There are several different volunteer opportunities available to you. And so I'm excited for my church family to jump on board and partner with organizations right here in our own backyard, in our community, to love and serve those who are most impacted and most in need during this time. And last but not least, as a way to be the church and reach out into our community is check on your neighbors. We don't have to overcomplicate this. My wife went to the grocery store just yesterday, and before she left, she went next door and walked across the street to just check in and say, hey, how are you guys doing? And do you need anything? I'm getting ready to go to the store. I'd be happy to pick something up for you. It can be as simple as that. Just make sure that you're being neighborly and that you are just checking in on those in your own neighborhood who are elderly or who might be, impacted by this. And so, church, I just want you to know that we love you. We're praying for you. I'm excited to gather together with you virtually this Sunday, and you'll be expecting some further updates from me as we get new information. But don't give in to fear, okay? We want to encourage you to feed your faith and starve your fears. So maybe decide to limit the amount of news that you take in that's going to cause you to feel fearful, and put on some worship music instead. Listen to a podcast, read your Bible, do devotions with your family, do things that will build your faith, okay? I love you. I'm praying for you. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.